Hey, what's up? Let's get into looking at these Geosternbergia Pteranodon cousins. These things are really cool. I wanted to go learn a little bit about them. Turns out they're a very close cousin to the Pteranodon, one of the biggest pterosaurs there ever was, and they've got about a 24-foot wingspan, about half the size of like a crop dusting airplane these days. That is a big bird, or lizard. Well, let's go look at the pin sizes. And as always, I'm going to start off by saying everything I talk about when it comes to like measurement in the pin is based on or this, just a single pull of fence, like that, run off to a right angle, and I will call that a 1x1 if I talk about like fence size. Better not fence him in. Anyways, so let's go to the non-humbles to begin with. And we'll look here. First, I've got one in here at 71, and he's got these big, heavy trees. But I found very quickly that if you put very many of these things in here, they'll get stuck in those big trees. So we're going to opt for all palm trees instead, and be more concerned here as a non-humble. Yeah, there we go. 71%. It's a little tough to get him fit in there, but he will fit in, though he flies into the ground a lot in that tiny pin. In comparison, in the ones, we've got a humble at 75% and two humbles in this one at 72, though I wouldn't recommend any of these. Pins are just too small for these great big pterosaurs. Let's look at the non-humble twos. We've got, now this might be all right. I mean, if you just got to have another species of dinosaur and no room, you can fit two of these in. 83 isn't bad to have one. The two-pod with no humble trait. I don't know what he's doing. Relaxing while he's flying. Up to 6 at 71. And 71 seems to be their bottom, about their bottom, what they can't go below. Maybe 70, but it is very hard to get them down to those points while adding all the right forests and stuff, because again, if you use that big forest, it will just trap them in it constantly. So here is a two-pod with humble ones in it, and they're going to be the first ones you're going to get to 100. So this wouldn't be a bad pin at all. And you can see these things are about a 2x2 square in a park. Not quite. But these ones are really not much larger. Maybe 2x3. There's somebody stuck somewhere. And that's just one of the things that goes wrong with these things. They get stuck. Well, he's not doing anything. Just sitting there sleeping. But they do get stuck. They fly into the ground. All right, so we've got two at 100%, but they've got the humble gene. Let's look at the two-pod filled. There are 10 in here at 71. That's quite a gap. 2 to 10, not bad. This is the 3-pod, and you can see the 3-pod is 3x3, which is just barely more than a 2x2. Really. And you're going to get 100% non-humbles into these. There's 3 of them in here. That's a good number. There's 6 of the humble gene ones in this side. 6 at 125 is, you know, pretty good. What's 750? All right, so for the 4s now, or for the 3s, there's the kind of pyramid pods. Here's the long 3 filled to the brim, 9 of them in here in the non-humble, and then the humble side quite a bit more at 14. He must have woke up and gone to get something to eat. All right, so 4s, let's go to the 5 long pins here. On this side, there are 8 at 100%. they're non-humble, and on this side, the humble ones come in at 12. Not too many more, actually, but these are fairly large enclosures to just put anywhere in your park. You can see they're only 2 wide, but here, this one is a 4, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you've got to figure you need viewing things on these, whatever, so it might be 5 by 3 in all actuality. So these are 6 by 3, 7 by 3. This 4 right here instead is clearly about 3 by 4, and somebody's out. Let's see where he goes. This is another thing, and I may show you at the end of the video that so like I did all this and saved it, and when I reloaded the game, I think maybe 50 of them were out, 40 some, and I have to go through and put them all back in. But anyways, so 5 long, non-humble, 8 humble, 12, and this has got 30 of them in it, though it isn't quite showing it. And there is one of the problems with the 30. Your Jeep just can't status check them quick enough to keep them going. But they're at 72% with 30 of them in there. Now let's go stick him back in his pen, and we'll turn this back off to 3.
Asset to be collected.
So the 5s are good. This 5 pin is probably a better size. I mean, this pin's a 4 by 4, and it looks like that thing would fit in there pretty easily. Another dinosaur threat? Look at this. Just gonna pop out constantly while we do this. Well, and they don't even escape, like the game kicks them out. I've even got the escapes turned off on this, and it still kicks them out. Well, here's a 6. It's a 6 long. I don't think you would really want to try and put this in, but it's really not a lot longer than just like a hotel, 3 amenities, a bathroom, and an emergency shelter is about that long. Here's 10 at 100% in here. Delicious. And here is the triangle pod with the humble. So the 10 were non-humble. I need to say that. The 10 were non-humble. These 15 are humble. So 6 long, 10 non-humble. If you're ever curious how many you've got in here, or how many pods you've made, if you're just putting them together, just count these circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you'll always be able to tell how big your pin actually is. So those are 6s. Let's go down and look at the 7s, where we just had one get out.
Heading to collect the asset.
So these 7 pods that I wrap around these hotels like this, I think this is a really nice little area down here to be able to have in what is essentially like a 9 by 9 area, maybe 8 by 8. I had to fence it off and see how big it actually is. But this is a 7 pod pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in here, the non-humble ones are at 11. Well, there's actually the 12th one is out there, so 12 of them at 100%. That would be a very nice pin to have wrapped around a hotel like that. Here's the other side, a 7 as well. And there's 18 of them in here at 100%. That is a cool color. What color he is. Amazon rainforest and Paparana. All right. So those are the 7s. Let's go look at what it takes to get 30. This pin, let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it is exactly, yeah, I just thought, well, it's surely just going to be double that, and it is. So they've even got a little extra of everything. This is a nice pin. And how hard it would really be to put something like that in your park, because these guys cohabitate with 2 other things. Pteranodons and Trophiognathus both. This pin is, what, 4 by 6? 4 by 7 to have your viewing galleries and stuff on it, and 30 humble, 29 in the one that's outside being put back. And then on this side are the non-humbles. We'll count the pods here in a second, but there's 30 of them in here, non-humble. And this thing's actually, it's like an 18 pod, so there's 4 2 5s and another 4 18 pods on that one, which still, it's not all that big. I mean, if it's 7 by 5, I've shown a lot bigger pins to have for like Apatosauruses or Tyrannosauruses or whatever. But, of course, they've got way more appeal. This is just a really cool pin to have, how big it is to go here and follow them around while they fly. So, I guess I would say, if I had to pick any, the 4s are good. If you got humble, then the 3s work. But these things, if you're building an area and pre-planning, work very well. Why don't we just pick one of these and follow it around? And I'll say, I appreciate you watching the video, as always. Get that humble gene on him, it makes all the difference in the world. And he is a cool color as well. What color is he? Alright. Yeah. You guys take it easy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another one.